Hi, my name is Sam. I am a practicing yogi and I really have no qualifications for any of this. But I thought I'd walk you through my personal journey with shadow work in order to try to keep this as authentic as possible. It's going to be a little bit hard for me to record this because I think shadow work is deeply personal. Um, so I won't be saying everything that I want out loud. Because I think that's oversharing is a form of asteya, like stealing your own energy. And shadow work is deeply, deeply personal. This is like inner child work. This is you healing generational traumas. This is you healing yourself, your younger self. And for me, the point of shadow work is most of your subconscious is based off of your childhood from age 0 to about age 7. So if you notice, your default is to choose the abusive relationships or the drama or the chaos. It's because your subconscious has deemed that as home, right? So if you grew up in a abusive, chaotic, neglectful home, it doesn't know that that's still not home. So it may be unsafe, but your subconscious says, okay, that's home, that's our default. And there's not really many ways to rewire that I'm aware of other than shadow work. And what shadow work is basically your healed self talking to your inner child and telling it everything it needed to know or hear or didn't receive to heal that bond in between and to eventually, not necessarily correct, but heal that inner child. So your default is no longer to crave that chaos, that drama, that, abuse. It's to create that inner peace, and that's what you eventually work towards craving. So that's what I'm here today for. I would highly suggest that you do this under a trained professional. I started shadow work with my trauma therapist. We did it pretty intensely for once a week for about once a year, and I saw dramatic benefits from it. So I wanted to share a little bit how it's done. But again, I think it should always be practiced with a professional, so you have those tools and that safety, because shadow work is not for the faint of hearts. You don't feel great afterwards. Often I feel drained. I have physical pain. I'll have a headache. I'll have body aches. So you need to have a lot of tools in your toolbox to be able to process and deal and have the aftercare with shadow work. So super important for me, especially if you were like a child of abuse or neglect. When you do your shadow work, to pick a safe place. And for me, that safe place has always been outdoors. When I was unsafe in the home and needed to know there was somewhere I could go and be safe, I would literally dash into the woods like a kid and hide out. So outside's always my safe place. If you figure out what your option or what that is for you, I would always suggest that you start your shadow work there. And I'm outside and I'm barefooted because grounding is important. We never knew growing up that running around barefoot was grounding, and that was relaxing and helps set your body at ease. But it is, and that's what we call it these days, grounding. So I'm outside and barefoot. I can ground if I need to, if I start to feel unsafe in this. And yeah, let's get started. So when I start my shadow work, I like to close my eyes. And what I'm basically doing is having a conversation with myself. So there's me now, right? Sam, let's call me Sam B, right? And then there's Sam A, which is my inner child, me in that time, that age from 0 to 7. And I sit there and I physically picture her. And I picture what she says or what she needs to say. And then Sam B, me, I respond back. I picture what I need to say and what I need my inner child to hear. And as authentically and as real as I possibly can, I continue to have that conversation. So I set an intention before I do my shadow work. And today my intention is to not be triggered and to have more healing and more grace and compassion when I do start to feel triggered. I would love to be able to talk to this person and not just absolutely feel like my walls are crumbling down, and that I have strength and safety when I can talk to this person. So that's going to be my goal today. I'm not going to have this conversation out loud, but that's what me, Sam B, my healed adult self, is going to be saying to Sam A, my inner child self. So there'll be a conversation in between the two. You can picture it wherever you are. Always picture it in your safe place. My safe place happens to be the exact same place that I am right now. So that makes it much easier to kind of get in that mindset. And because I hold a lot of my trauma in my womb, my sacral chakra and my womb, you might see me start to do like this swirl and this movement around my pelvic. So we're going to throw in some shadow work, some womb work with it too. So I'll get started. Comment down below what questions you have, if you have any questions, and what we could maybe answer next time about this. Thanks. So when I get started, I like to take a few deep breaths to bring myself into the present. A deep inhale, a deep extra inhale at the top, and a slow exhale. It's called a physiological sigh. It just helps kind of get your body relaxed and your mind and body into the present state. So we're not in the past, we're not in the future. We're right here, we're present, we're exactly where we need to be. And I invite you in this practice at any time to take those cleansing breaths. Anytime you feel like that energy is really heavy inside your body, take a nice cleansing breath and imagine breathing in a big bright white light. And exhaling, just getting rid of all that dark, negative, smoky energy. And just clearing out your body each time. Each time you need it, take that deep cleansing breath. So I asked myself, as my inner child, I said, what do you need? And I say, I want to feel safe around this person. And so I meet myself now with my inner child. And I say, you are safe because I got you. And I believe that. I want to be loved. And you are, unconditionally. That's your gift to yourself. Nobody can take that away. And I give you that unconditional love. I meet you with grace, exactly where you're at. I love you for all that you are. You are love. I am love. We give love. Because I'm doing womb work with this, I like to imagine just breathing in this white light all the way up from my sacral chakra to my crown, and breathing it white light back down. Not every time does my shadow work look this pretty. I probably have a lot harder time letting go, knowing that I'm being recorded or that I'm recording myself, trying to keep it authentic for you. But when feelings pop up, I try to let myself feel them. Emotions have no solutions. Where we run into problems is when we don't allow ourselves to feel those emotions. So as soon as you have a safe place to feel that anger, that sadness, I invite you deeply to feel that. Because I've noticed personally for me, when I don't, eventually it's going to come out, and it's going to come out as anxiety for me or anger for me. And it's usually towards the people and things that I love. So the moment I allow myself to feel those emotions, the better. And I used to try to hide that. Like, I used to be really proud of the person that never cried after the traumatic events. And I'm not sure where or who taught me that, but we're healing that. And I'm not afraid to cry in front of people now. I'm not afraid to tell people I feel, or I need a minute, or I need to go and do things. And so today I just burst out into tears earlier, just thinking about the situation. And I thought, that's the work. That's what needs to be done. So here we are doing the shadow work. So when that inner child needs to cry and needs to let go, I invite you to let go and let her cry, and just remind yourself that you're here, chose this, you're in a safe spot. And just make sure you have the tools afterwards, because again, aftercare is needed for shadow work. It's not pleasant, it's not nice. We do it because we want a deeper sense of self. We want healing. And that's never going to be easy. So after I've gotten to where I feel like I'm good and I'm done with my shadow work, I like to try and bring myself back into my body. A lot of that's the somatic, like touch. I can wiggle my fingers. I can nod my head, I can move it around. What do I sense? What do I smell? What do I hear? I hear the hawks in the background talking to one another. What can I feel? Can I feel the cold grass underneath my feet? And then when I'm here, I like to set an intention to align my chakras, which will be a whole nother conversation later. But I work myself up through my chakras from the sacral chakra all the way up. And it's easier for me because I've done it more often as a practice. But I like to physically feel it in my body. So I feel my sacral chakra and I imagine the color associated with it. And then I just work up all the way. And I have to past my throat chakra because I know speaking my truth is so hard. So this series will be an important part of that. So let's do the work. And when I'm done in my practice, I always make sure to end with gratitude. So just like when you're done with asanas or in any other type of yoga or meditation, any way you show up in that form, you can say a word as easy as Namaste, which means the light in me honors the light in you, which is really helpful in shadow work because the light in me honors the light in you. I see my inner child for exactly who she is, and I choose to love her unconditionally. And I'm grateful for these moments and for this work. So, namaste. I'm glad that wasn't so super awkward to record. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions.